A means not.
It will be my
Do you want it A tracks?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Polyhedral Dynamics. Except not.
Is that
No, no.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Oh,
I just
I'm
wanted
not
to make you go like, holy shit, no.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Party Patrol, the show where we party. Yay, party.
That's it. The patrol's just there because it starts with a P. That's it.
Yep. Are we the?
You know, with these headphones and this camera perspective, I feel obligated to make some kind of Gary Brolma reference.
I don't know who that is, so yeah. Nobody here
Oh my
knows
God.
who that
Good
is.
luck with that.
Oh.
Now
Yeah,
that
what'd you
I do
say his
actually
name?
recognize that name.
Let me see.
Respect the classics.
No.
Like Neil banging out the tunes.
What?
There was an old picture from like a 4chan thread of a rat like hanging out next to like a piano keyboard, and they just titled it "Neil banging out the tunes," and it's just one of the greatest pictures of all time.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, art lady.
Hey, Candy. You know, I didn't actually make it so I can see chat.
Clark lady.
Hi.
Hi, Clark lady.
Clark.
C-L-A-R-T.
Alright. What were some of the topics I had? Candy lady.
No, it stands for Clark.
So you're candy lady, art lady?
Gonna leave with this attitude.
No, it's actually CL actually stands for CL Art Lady. It's sort of like an HTML or a.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
PHP, is that right?
Yeah,
Like
PHP.
that.
PHP hypertext preprocessor, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
So where do I start? Do we want to start with food crimes like right off the bat?
Oh yeah, there is never a better time than to just do it the first thing.
Oh, let me.
I'm sure that's right, CL art lady. Nobody here has ever done any coding.
Nope, never. All right.
Nope, none of us. I'm still working on getting Twitch opened.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, it definitely sounds like you haven't done much.
I mean, he doesn't even know how to open Twitch, so he would know how to code.
I like the part where I start writing like food crimes, but I mistype, so it's food crimea, and you know, it's kind of a war zone as it is. So I've been cooking stuff recently.
Thank you.
I've been cooking French stuff recently. And hi Stephanie.
You say hi.
Stephanie. Hi, Peppery.
Hi.
Because this way I can look at the camera. Probably looks better, I think.
Are you playing it on like no? Cause you.
Yeah, I'm basically just like using OBS as my
Okay.
like screen, which also means I have no sound.
Okay. I mean, you don't need sound.
I really don't at this point.
I really hope that the sound isn't blowing out our voices like it was the last 2 times we did this, because I went back and re-watched that and I was like, oh,
well,
cool.
Why would you not tell me that? Okay, I've now turned it down.
I turned it down on my side, so now it's probably
Well,
way
I'm
too
not
quiet.
turning it up. No, I turned it up again.
Okay.
Maybe the same number.
Yeah, no, it looks about the same levels. So I've been cooking some French food, which means that you use wine. That's basically the difference between French food and other food.
As part of the recipe, or as part of like your recipe?
Yes. A little for you, a little for me, a little for you, a little for me.
A little for you, bottle for me.
Bottle. Was it lottle or bottle? Because either way works.
Yeah. I do like Lotto, actually. That's pretty good.
I usually use Lotto. So, first thing I made was Burgundy meatballs, which is an old family recipe where you buy a bottle of Burgundy and then you make way too many meatballs.
That's just color.
Actually, it's a place, and the color comes from the color of the wine called Burgundy, which is just Pinot Noir from the place.
Tom, this is gonna blow your mind when I tell you about oranges.
Go on.
So, like, went to do it, and it's a family recipe where the story following it is that, like, they made Burgundy meatballs, and then they ate Burgundy meatballs for like 3 months, and that's because they just had so many damn meatballs that they just, if you don't eat them, they'll go bad. So, or they'll just keep the freezer filled up forever.
Do they not go bad in the month that it took to eat them? I thought that it would have gone bad in like 2 weeks.
I mean,
guess you can freeze them, huh?
You could freeze them, but then it just takes up all the space. Like,
Yeah.
I did a single batch of it, which did not get anywhere close to using up all the wine, all the Burgundy that I bought, and made 172 meatballs, which is like
That's too many meatballs.
like 8 meals of meatballs or more.
That is almost enough
Eight?
meatballs.
Did you say 8 meals for 172 meatballs?
Yes.
Okay, I
Yes.
need your division knowledge real quick.
That is not quite enough meatballs.
No, please actually do the math for me and tell me how many meatballs that is per meal.
It's
21.
21-ish, divided by
About
2.
10 per
Yeah, you could eat that for a meal if you also don't eat anything else.
Oh,
He likes
They're-
really
I know my
tiny
favorite
meatballs.
meal
they're-
is
they're-
21 meatballs
I'm not
and
sure
no,
why.
no anything
they're
else
they're like
besides.
small meatballs. They're like bite and a half.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like regular size spaghetti meatballs.
Like spaghetti and meatballs, where you can't actually eat a meatball in every bite. You have to eat like a tenth of a meatball in each bite. Because you're
Yeah,
like,
you
oh
have to,
cool.
Cut the meatballs into 8.
Yeah, you're like, when you go to the place and it's like, you don't get spaghetti and meatballs, you get spaghetti and meatball. Because it's like a
Yeah.
plate of spaghetti and then like a meatball on top of it.
Yeah, and you're like, oh yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, I
To be
prefer
honest,
smaller.
21 Meatballs just sounds like a folk music band that only does parody of folk music.
I think it's a folk band that like covers 21 Pilots, which is a horrible sound for a band.
21 meatballs.
Oh no, this is the 21 Pilots Meatloaf crossover.
God.
So anyways, I was looking at
Right,
the
well, we
types of
found our food
wines.
crime, and it's somehow about music.
It
And
is a thing that has to go in someone's mouth. So
Okay, so we just need to, as the group, record folk covers of 21 Pilot songs.
Yeah,
Also, I think
but
there's
none of us can
hearing
sing.
an echo from Kristen.
Exactly.
Wait, maybe not?
I don't know. Talking, echoing.
You're here.
hello, talking.
Give me 1 second. Wait, wait, wait.
I am not getting on my end, so.
That means
I'm getting very.
Alright, there we go.
I mean, there's occasionally
Periodic
echo
echoes.
from us being in the same room, but
Yeah.
there's.
what? We're not in the same room.
You're like on the same camera half the time.
Nothing over here. Nothing here. Just me and the suitcase.
Nothing to see, move along.
So I was looking at Burgundy wines and stuff, which again, it's just a Pinot Noir from this one place. Turns out that the Burgundy region though is like the food region, because like beef bourguignon means Burgundy beef. It's beef cooked in Burgundy wine. Coq au vin is traditionally made with Burgundy. Other things like one of the most famous towns in Burgundy is Dijon, where, you know.
Oh, where they invented mustard.
Yeah, where they invented mustard. No.
What you're saying is this place's wine is so bad that the only thing anyone can figure out what to do with it is cook.
Dijon doesn't even use
Also,
I'm gonna
wine.
get burned for saying that.
Yeah.
Also, I have a question. Are there any other products in the world besides wine where, like, a type is just the place it's from?
Cheese.
I mean,
What'd you say?
Cheese.
I heard bees, and I was like,
I heard bees too.
you said other than wine, right? Just
Yeah. Okay, besides the one thing that you pair with wine and also wine.
No, the name is escaping me. Is it? It's not brandy. It's
I mean,
cognac.
cognac, which is just brandy except from the cognac region.
Specific place.
Yeah.
Okay, besides alcohol. I guess.
Which again,
alcohol is, like, the
Scotch.
only thing that people-
Scotch also is the same thing. There is a type to Scotch, but there's Japanese single malt whiskeys which are just Japanese Scotch. But they
You're
can't
correct,
call it
but
Scotch.
if your Scotch is not alcoholic, you're doing it wrong.
What?
John put a no alcohol rule on this,
Oh yeah.
but I thought you were just ignoring it. But Tim decided to mention we were talking about Scotch without alcohol, and nobody would ever even dare pretend that. Because,
I mean, I just did.
like I said,
Also, the weird thing
nobody
about
at Gentleman's Gang for the past month.
Oof. So I was looking at these wines and stuff, and saw that it was, you know, Pinot Noir comes from Pinot Noir grapes. Like that's the name of the grape, so that's the name of the wine. Except for the fact that Pinot Noir is also known by approximately 77 other names. It's just asshole.
What? I didn't think you'd have to look that up. Like, I mean, not all of them, obviously, but like, it's a weird thing to know without knowing a single one of the extras.
Let's see.
I mean, realistically, at this point, you could probably just start saying random names and you might be right. Like, what else is Pinot Noir
we like
called?
to research first. Even if
George.
first just means 20 seconds ago on Google, we research first.
All right, Pinot Noir, also known as Blauburgunder, Blauer Arbst, Blauer Spatburgunder, Courtoyoid, Mario Feld, Mario Feld Tinto. What, they sound German?
These names just... No, well, okay, yes. I was gonna say they sound like you could find them at IKEA, but...
I mean, same thing.
German's more correct, I think.
Oh, nice.
Mario Feld Tinto, Morillon, Morillon Noir, Mourillon, Sauvignon Noir, or Salvagnin Noir. And those are the ones that are on this list, although I found another list earlier that was just way longer. I said them all. She sat through it, surprisingly.
Anyone actually surprised?
Me. Oh, what is this? I have a link that I'm going to, and it's scary. Oh, okay. Now we get to the part where I am annoyed at the news regarding food. So the first one.
Never get into the food crime.
Yeah. All right. So the first one is UK News Yahoo.com. This person made a classic baked potato with 3 different appliances, and they'll never use their oven again.
Oh boy.
So you're starting us off with clickbait, huh?
Yep. So the three options were microwave,
Alright, not baked. So
air fryer, and traditional oven.
Wait,
So
so they're saying here are 3 ways to do it, so you don't have to use your oven, and one of them is just your oven?
well, no,
No,
here are three
there
ways.
to do it, and we're never going to do this one again after having done this.
There are 3 ways to do this, and one of them messed up so badly that it completely ruined the appliance.
So
Is that why they're not using the oven anymore?
first
Oh,
first thing on here is the using the microwave took almost 0 effort. The only downside was having to poke the uncooked potato with a fork, which wasn't super easy and slowed me down a bit. Are you?
Huh? I think I read this same article, and I also hated it.
Yeah, okay. The second thing is, they poked the potato about 10 times, which, like, you could get away with 2. You could get away with 1, it's just a few more is better.
I like to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like
Would
1
just have
poke
to
on
pop,
each side.
5 times
I
in a
also
row.
wonder,
Yeah.
did they olive oil and salt it, or did they just poke it 10 times and then shove it in the microwave?
Well, I
You
don't...
really need to shred the potato with your fork before you put it in the microwave to really make sure that they...
The olive oil and salt and pepper thing is really just a oven technique. You don't really need all that for the outside of a microwave. It doesn't add much with the amount of time it's cooking. Then they put it on high for 5 minutes, turned it over and cooked it for another 5 minutes. The potato came out dry and almost chalky. No shit, you cooked the potato for 10 minutes in the microwave. I cook mine for like
If I ever have
5 and it's fine.
A minute and a half at a time, it like already sounds bad.
Yeah, like I do mine for 5 and it turns out
Suppose
basically right.
in the microwave for 10 minutes would be a problem.
10 is way too much. And then they moved on to the air fryer. They didn't poke it. They just sprayed it with cooking oil, which is gross. I hate like aerosol cooking spray directly onto food because it's not
Yeah,
designed
that
for that.
No, it's
If you put
non-stick
steak
spray.
before you cook the steak, then it makes it cook so much better.
Ugh. Yeah. And then they seasoned it with garlic salt, and then they cooked it at 400 degrees for 45 minutes, and it was perfect. Then the next one, they cooked it in the
How
oven.
many minutes?
45 minutes at 400.
Oh, okay.
I'll bring it back if
I feel like anything that they say for the oven is gonna be like as much effort as the air fryer was.
pretty much, yeah. Except for the oven, they had to poke 12 holes all over the potato.
Oh
Again.
no!
Again,
Do
like
you?
2 is fine, yeah. And you don't even technically have to for baking it. You could get away with it just the same.
No.
Yeah.
They say 12 holes. Do they mean they took a 4-tined fork, and stabbed it 3 times?
No, I'm
No,
certain
I
that
don't
they
think they
mean
do.
12 holes?
no. The way that this asinine person thinks, I think they did like 48
Well,
holes.
stabs. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then, to quote, poking the fork in and out of the spud was just as labor intensive as it was with the microwave method, mainly because the fork kept getting stuck. What?
Yeah. It's an uncooked potato.
But also like.
A blood groove on your fork.
Not that it would help particularly,
Yeah.
because
but
the
it's like,
potato
oh, yeah,
doesn't
that's
have
how it
blood.
works.
But now I want a fork with a blood groove.
Me
For
too.
no reason.
With like, a blood groove per time.
Per
That's what
time.
they're called, right? Times.
Time.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it. I hate it, but I love it.
Perfect utensil for you.
Also, you don't have
I
to
also
use a
like-
fork. You can use a knife.
I was about to say, like, I love that they were like, oh god, it sucked that the fork kept getting stuck. If only we had a thing that was built to do this exact thing without that problem.
I mean,
You
like,
could just use a sword that has a blood groove.
But also,
Everyone
like,
has one of those in their knife drawer.
Not unwieldy at all.
and like the fort kept getting stuck. What are you, baby arms? Like, I mean, this isn't exactly.
It's possible that that's true.
I mean, I know I've been hitting the gym, but I didn't have a problem with this when I was a fat piece of shit eating baked potatoes all the time. So.
Because anyone would know we've gone to the gym if we just mention it.
I mean, yeah. It doesn't exactly show.
I still look like a fat piece of shit eating potatoes all the time.
Alright, here we get to the key here. They cooked it on the oven rack for an hour at 350 degrees. And then they complained that A, it took too long, and B, it wasn't as good as the air fryer. Okay, so let's see here. An air fryer is an oven with a fan inside of it.
Isn't it just a convection toaster?
It's a convection... Yeah, it's a convection toaster oven. When you take something and you cook it in the oven for an hour at 350 degrees, it will taste different than when you take something and you put it in the oven for 45 minutes at 450 degrees. Or 400 degrees. It's a big difference.
I also like that they said, like, we had to stab it 12 times. And it's like, did you do a lot of trial and effort where you stabbed it 1 through 11 times? And then on the 12th stab, you're like, oh, you know what? Now it's edible. But it's worse than the other food.
Yeah, no, they had to do it another time to do the 13 just to see if it was better or worse. And it went downhill after 12. So
Yeah,
it was
12
all
the
uphill to
exact
12.
peak.
And then, yeah. No, like...
11 times thou shalt not stab unless proceeding directly to 12.
Yeah, that's exactly how they cook.
It infuriated me. Like,
You're here. Yahoo!
yes, if you cook a potato at a different temperature and a different amount of time, it will come out differently.
Don't be
Who'da thunk? Next thing that I saw that was related to food in the news that I hated. Quote, America must come together. What?
I said, yes,
Oh.
please tell us more things that we're gonna hate.
Don't stop there.
America must come together.
On 3.
You're gonna have to give me longer than 3.
Yeah, hold on, I was ready.
I can edge for a bit, so just like give me. Alright, America must come together to tackle the Girl Scout cookie surplus. Other one was Americans must perform their patriotic duty to eat Girl Scout cookies and shit like this. It was there were several of them. I think the third one was something like, you're all required to go eat Girl Scout cookies.
So all of them were about Girl Scout cookies?
All of them were about Girl Scout cookies, and all of them were very demanding. And I get it. Girl Scout cookies are tasty. They're also
What do you want to bet it was written by someone whose Girl Scout hadn't sold enough cookies yet?
Well, I mean, these were 3 different articles by, I mean, I guess they're not like the New York Times, but they were somewhat reputable.
We're being the operative, correct?
But like, I get it. Like this past year, the Girl Scouts did not do so well in their sales, because
I wonder what could have caused that.
Because there was a pandemic, and also because there's 3 things. 1, pandemic. 2, every year there are fewer Girl Scouts because I'm gonna cast some shade on Girl Scouts. It's kind of a shitty program. And that's something I've heard from most Girl Scouts as well. And
honestly, I feel like scouts of any type are just like not really much of a thing.
Oh yeah, Scouts as a whole is going downhill. It's just
Who wasn't able to be part of either. I didn't care that I wasn't part of Girl Scouts. I did want to be a Boy Scout,
yeah.
but it wasn't an option at the time.
which is cool. But yeah, like
I went with the one that no one's ever heard of.
and the
My brother went there too.
third one, the third reason is because it came out either last year or late the year before that the palm oil, I think it is, that is used in Girl Scout cookies is produced by like child slave labor, which is super not cool.
Nope.
And
That
as
is
such,
no goo.
as such, a whole bunch of Girl Scout
That makes
troops.
it very American to rally around and try and eat these cookies. That's
You're not wrong, and I hate it. Oh, that's terrible.
well, they've already gone through the work. It's not like not eating is gonna make the kid labor not have happened.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what we should be like. The kids might feel bad if they had to do all that labor and we didn't even eat their cookies, so we should definitely eat their
Starving
cookies.
children in Africa worked hard to get these cookies for you.
Yeah, it's terrible.
That's the worst thing I've ever heard in my life about
Yeah.
anything.
What we should be doing is canceling Girl Scouts because of all their fat shaming with Thin Mints.
So anyways, a lot of Girl Scout troops just didn't sell cookies because, you know, they were protesting the fact that they're made by garbage people. Not the children who are slave labor, but the people who are enslaving the children. And to their credit, I did see multiple stories when I was reading about this that there are a lot of those places, the community still just donated directly to the Girl Scouts, to the Girl Scout troop, because, yeah, I mean, you go like, all right, you need to stand up for what you believe in, but at the same time, then you just don't have the money to do anything.
Main fundraiser.
Yeah, which, you know, it's a really tough decision to make, and I'm proud of them for doing it. And especially, yeah. But yeah, I hate these articles coming out because I think at this point there's like 3 million cookies that are just like 500,000 are sitting at the with the Girl Scouts, and the other like 2.5 million are still at the distributor or the baker. And most of the ones at the baker can just be, they can't sell them in stores because it's against their contract, because it would just basically take away from the Girl Scouts' ability to sell them. But they can sell them like wholesale to prisons or schools or, you know, cafeterias. So they can recoup it, but the Girl Scout, the ones at the Girl Scouts are just kind of in limbo until they're sold.
The solution is to sell slave labor cookies to prisoners.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought about the irony of that as well.
Yeah.
America.
Depending on which prisons they're sold to, they're slave labor selling to slave labor.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I'm against food waste, so since the cookies are made, I think this is a vibe.
Yeah.
Sounds funny.
But like, don't put this on us. Like, you didn't buy cookies last year, so you need to go out and buy these cookies. It's your civic duty as an American. It's like, I don't give a fuck.
Listen, if I wanted to buy cookies, I would have bought them.
Yeah.
I don't suddenly want to buy them now because you wrote an article that told me I physically had to do it, or else you would come to my house and kill me.
Yeah.
I didn't read the
Yeah.
article. I'm assuming that's what it says.
Close enough. It's just, it infuriated me.
I always feel weird whenever any online article or like post or anything is like that level of like pushy, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
just gonna walk the
demanding.
other direction.
Alright, and my last food-related thing was, so apparently at the supermarket, we are now selling coconut flour tortilla chips. Which, first of all, it was the first time I have heard of coconut flour. I'm familiar with almond flour and many of the other gluten-free flours, but coconut flour is a first for me.
Well, you see, they were using almonds to replace milk. So since they're also using almonds to replace flour, and you use coconut milk to replace milk, it
Okay.
follows you can use coconuts to replace flour. What?
Actually, what are we supposed
it
to
does
call?
work okay when you use it right. My mother-in-law uses it a good bit.
Okay. But here's the deal. The existence of coconut flour tortilla chips implies the existence of coconut flour tortillas. And
The tortilla chip is just a fried tortilla.
yeah.
But do you fry it in coconut oil?
Oh. That's way too coconutty. Oh. I'm okay with a little bit of coconut, but that's too
I
much.
can't do most coconut.
Yeah. Ugh.
Yeah, that's too much oil. That's too much coconut. You fry it in sesame oil. That's the right way to do it.
Not truffle oil? That's despicable. Frying something in truffle oil.
Truffle oil.
Why not?
Oh, that's
Wagyu
so
ghee.
that's so
Flavor.
damn
That's something
expensive.
you do as a status symbol. Ah, yes. I eat french fries all the time. All fried in truffle oil.
Wagyu ghee doesn't make sense, by the way. You don't make ghee out of meat.
Not half bad.
So this brings up the question, at what point, like, corn tortillas already exist. They're already gluten-free. They're already healthier for you. They're actually, like, really fucking healthy for you. And then if you want, like, a different thing, you could go flour tortilla, but I get it, you're gluten-free. But, like, anything you could do with a flour tortilla, you can also do with a corn tortilla. So, like, why... When you have two perfectly designed tortillas, why do you need to branch out? Second of all, at what point, like, what other flours do you throw in that change it? Like, whole wheat flour tortillas are already a bit of a stretch to me. Like, I get it. You want a flour tortilla, but you want it to be slightly healthier, which is dumb. But
Okay, in fairness, I do that because I would rather have something slightly healthier, but I don't do a corn tortilla only because I have, like, they rip all the time for me. Like, I have so much trouble, like, making anything with them without them, like, breaking in half and, like, spilling everything out. And I'm just like, I'm just
Which
trying to
was
eat
a
a taco.
problem I also constantly had with store-bought corn tortillas. So when you said you could do anything with them that you do with flour,
well,
That's what I was thinking too.
there is
make them like we do, but not everyone is.
there is a key to using them with less breakage, store bought, which is heating them first, which is pretty easy. You could do it over a gas stove, or you could do it just in the microwave on a plate, wrapped in a damp
Will it
paper towel.
be 10 minutes in the microwave or 40 minutes in the air fryer?
Yeah, what about
No,
a deep
like-
or an air fryer?
If you're lucky enough to have one of the microwaves that has a 30-second button on it, you just click that.
If I put my air fryer in the oven, will it cook faster?
I think you'll be cooked faster.
It will cook faster because I think fire tend to go at a higher temperature than
That
anything
is
else.
true. That is true. Especially when you have to, like an electrical fire. That's gonna be really hot. But that brings up the thought of, like, all right, could you have a rye tortilla?
Yes.
What about a rye tortilla? What about a pumpernickel tortilla?
Yep.
No.
Sourdough tortilla.
No. Oh. I hate the idea of a rye tortilla.
Rice flour tortilla.
I've seen it, and it's disgusting.
Cauliflower tortilla.
cauliflower flour.
A brioche tortilla? I want a brioche tortilla.
No. See, at
Soft
this point,
tortilla.
what you're making is just other flatbreads. They're not tortillas anymore.
Non-tortilla.
Again, it's just another flatbread.
On.
Okay, how about this though? A pita tortilla, because like it's different because there's a pocket in it where you put the
That's
salsa.
just pita bread. It's already a flatbread.
Tortilla.
It's small though.
That's just small pita.
Yeah, it's pitilla.
Pitilla.
Yeah.
P-I-T-I-L-L-A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Gross.
like how tortilla it implies the existence of a very big torta.
The torta is just a sandwich.
Yeah, it's true.
Then what's a tortoise?
Tasty.
Something that goes in the sandwich.
Yeah. It's a creature sandwiched between two bits of shell. Ayy.
Yep, that's it.
Gotcha there.
You're right.
Actually, since a tortoise is covered on 4 sides and open on 2, is it a sandwich or is it a burrito?
I think it's surrounded on all 4 sides. There's just holes in it. It's not an empty like ring around the middle. There's like it's sealed, so it's more like ravioli, I guess, but with some holes in it.
Oh, now I've got to get the sandwich definition.
Because that's the thing is there is a seam.
What is the name of this?
Wait, no, turtles are aquatic, so that makes them a sushi roll.
Maybe it's a sushi calzone. Which sounds horrible.
Sushi calzone. It raises the
The
question.
cube rule.
Is it cooked or is it raw?
The cube rule is where we get this. Alright, so... let me scroll down through here. So...
Well, I know people did cook tortoises in their shell and make soup.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of many reasons. Tortoise shells
Also,
are
'cause
also
one
pretty
time-
dope looking.
Yeah. Also, one time, a group of sailors burned down a lot of the Galapagos because they were
Yeah.
dumb. But on the bright side, a lot of those sailors died due to malnutrition when their ship died, and also cannibalism when they tried to survive. Anyways,
Cool.
that's what Moby Dick was based on.
Yeah. So the cube rule of food for identified dishes based on starch locations. So, 1, so you have just the bottom of a cube, it's toast. Then, the bottom and the top of a cube, sandwich. Bottom and sides
well then-
is a taco. All around is sushi. Bottom and sides is soup/salad with bread bowl. And number 6 is the full cube, and that's a calzone. And so
Well,
popular examples of toast include pizza,
Toast.
pumpkin pie, and a slice of pumpkin pie, and nigiri sushi. So starch is on the bottom. Popular examples of sandwich is a quesadilla, non-folded, just a one on top, one on the bottom. Victoria sponge cake, and a toast sandwich, which is where you sandwich, toast, sandwich. Popular examples of taco include hot dog, an uncut sub sandwich where it's not all the way through, and a slice of pie with a top crust. Popular examples of sushi include a falafel wrap, pigs in a blanket, enchilada. Oh, then we have number 5, which is quiche or bread bowl. So popular examples of quiche include cheesecake, soup in a bread bowl, and pita, like a falafel pita. Bonus round includes deep dish pizza, salad in a bread bowl, and key lime pie. And then calzone popular examples are a whole pie, a corn dog, and a burrito. Or including dumplings, Pop-Tarts, and Uncrustables.
Well, then according to that, our turtle is none of
Definitely
them
had
because it does not have starch in any direction.
Correct. Oh, then there's a couple others. There's number 7, which is cake, which is a 3-layer of starch, including lasagna, Big Macs, and flapjacks.
Please tell me like 3 layers of toast is just in there.
No.
Yeah, wait, wouldn't
Red
toast
bread.
be or a toast sandwich be that? Because there's starch in 3 layers.
You're right. It should be. It should be. I'll go right on telling them that. Salad.
They lie.
Definitely believe you.
Salad is the other option here, which is no starches. So includes things like
Oh, so the turtle's a salad.
steak, chocolate, soup, which is it's a wet salad. Then, interestingly enough, it includes other things which are considered starches, like spaghetti, mashed potatoes, and poutine, which I would all argue are type 1 toast.
Yeah.
Muffins or other blocks of starch are type 1 toast.
Wait, muffins aren't cake?
No. Yeah, it's just 1 layer. It's a block of starch.
Okay.
You are free to interpret the nature of rice however you wish, and a vanilla soy latte is a 3-bean wet salad.
What? Wait, hold on. They gave explicit rules for everything, and at the end they're like, rice is whatever you want it to be. Like,
Because you could argue that each like grain is a layer, or it's all just starch.
Yeah.
Or I can
the
see why.
nature of rice. So it's like, is rice 1 rice, or is
the wild
rice
card.
a thing?
So
I really like the fact that a vanilla soy
But-
latte is a 3-bean wet salad.
but a cake that isn't a layered cake, that's just like you make a cake in a cake pan. It's just toast.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, if you slice it apart and put frosting on it, then it becomes a sandwich.
What if you take some day-old rice, and you slice that, and put some frosting in it? Does that become a sandwich then?
Yes.
Tim, what do you mean by slicing the rice?
Rice
Yeah,
pieces.
rice.
Just leave it out.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a bag of broken rice.
Only if your knife isn't sharp enough.
It's because someone like Tim went and took a 25-pound bag of rice and very, very carefully sliced each grain into multiple pieces with a sharp knife.
So another thing I ran into this week is a actually I ran into it last week, but we didn't do a party patrol, so
We did a job there.
yeah. Was weird genetic similarities. So mushrooms are genetically closer to humans than they are to plants.
Yeah, I can believe it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Humans are fun guys.
Too. You got a better reaction.
I am ready.
Yeah, well, he said it better.
No. No, I gave a whole lead up to it. That's a better joke. No
Yeah, see,
offense.
I knew it was a bad joke, so I didn't belabor the point. I just went and said it.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
The only good puns are the ones that are over as soon as possible.
Scroll down to get to this.
My jokes are like Amazon. They're terrible, but at least the delivery usually works.
All right.
And last time you delivered a joke, it got stolen.
Right off the doorstep.
Yeah.
Hippopotamuses are closer to dolphins than they are to buffalo.
Yep.
I do have a question of what does this mean? When something is closer to something than another? Like what? By what metric?
It is closer genetically. So
Okay,
which means it has, it came from a much closer relative than the other. So like, I am closer to my brother than I am to my second cousin. Because my brother and I share the same, hopefully, genetic source, whereas me and my cousin, however, you have to go up further to reach the connection.
Should I make the joke?
Go for it. I don't know what joke it is. Hyenas are closer to cats than to canines, even though they kind of seem more like canines. Sugar gliders are closer to... What?
I said, ooh, sugar gliders.
Yeah, they're closer to kangaroos than to flying squirrels. Even though they're basically just smaller flying squirrels, they're closer to kangaroos.
Geographically true though, or just genetically?
I believe it's also geographically. I don't... I mean, they come from the Far East.
Also, if you don't pet them for like 20 minutes, they'll die.
Yeah.
Wait, is that true?
They have to be like close to you all the time. Like,
They're extremely social.
If you leave them for, like you said, more than 20 minutes, they pretty much just die of sadness.
Like,
they Padme.
Yeah, they like get depressed and die like it's insane.
I think you would need more than just 2 in order to do that.
But they can bond with non-humans.
Well, I mean, obviously they don't.
No, I've heard of this for years. Maybe they were grown in a lab or something.
No, they're rather ancient. Crocodiles are closer to toucans than they are to lizards. Just in general, lizards.
I mean, I'm glad you didn't say alligators. That would have infuriated me. if they were closer to anything than alligators, I'd be like, all right, well, I'm out.
But it's weird because like crocodiles are sort of lizards, but they're closer to birds.
I mean, they're closer to dinosaurs than lizards, because if that's the case,
Yes.
I think we have figured out why they are closer to it.
Yeah.
don't
I mean,
understand
crocodiles
why
are
people
rather
say
ancient.
Dinosaurs are extinct. Maybe just like most of the dinosaurs are extinct. These are the dinosaurs that survived.
I mean, things like the coelacanths are animals that were alive during the age of dinosaurs. Crocodiles were alive during the age of dinosaurs. Sharks were alive during the age of dinosaurs.
Megas.
Yeah, well, we don't necessarily know for sure that Megalodon is still alive.
What about
No.
Nessie?
In the weed tree.
Well, yeah, I don't know about Nessie. Potatoes.
Well, Nessie is a Scottish.
Shut up. Potatoes are closer to tomatoes than they are to sweet potatoes. Ugh.
That one's frustrating.
Uh,
You say potato, I say tomato.
Interesting thing about the potato-tomato relationship, they're so close, breeders have created the tomtato, which is a plant that has tomatoes up top and roots that grow potatoes, which I hope nobody takes that frame of my face out of context.
Okay, so If you took a tomato and you put it in an air fryer at 450 degrees, 45 minutes.
Oh.
Would you have a horrible food?
Yes.
If they're so close together DNA-wise, how come it's horrible to have a fried, like a baked tomato? There we go. Because fried tomato is a thing.
Yeah.
But fried potato isn't really as much a thing.
Fried potatoes?
You mean French fries?
Fries?
No, because that's potato that's cut up. You don't take a whole potato and then fry it.
You don't generally take a whole tomato either. You take a generally green tomato and you slice it and batter it and fry it. Or dredge it, fry it.
You do.
Couple more. Eagle is more closely related to a triceratops than to a pteranodon.
What? Like,
Despite the fact that they're
closely related to one dinosaur than a different dinosaur. Like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
it's more closely related to a ground dinosaur than an air dinosaur.
Yeah. All like that's not surprising though, because they've had millions of years to figure out what to do.
But especially when you consider that Pteranodon is an air fighting type, and Eagle is also an air fighting type, whereas Triceratops is a ground plant type. So.
Well, if they're dinosaurs, then they're almost certainly rock type because all
You're right.
fossils are rock type for some
You're right.
Did you know that animals learn based on air techniques of planes? That's what guides breeding, is air fighting techniques.
And coelacanths, as previously mentioned, which are an ancient type of fish, are more closely related to a
coelacanths?
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been wondering what the hell word you were saying was.
Why is it got a soft C
it
and
be
then...
pronounced like that.
Yeah. Coelacanth. Coelacanths are more closely related to a giraffe than a carp.
That's good for them.
I just find it weird how specific this list gets. Like, not the fish, but specifically a carp. So is it?
Yeah, what if it's just
learned
very
those
closely
are the
related to
fish, but
every
it's
fish?
Not that
but
similar to a carp?
I don't know. I just read what people wrote on the internet. That must be true.
I'm gonna write a list under like a different name and see if I can get like a really dumb, like obviously fake list onto the show.
Please. Do it.
Garnar.
Garnar?
Apparently, beach crabs are more closely related to krill than they are to most any other kind of crab.
Interesting. What type of beach crab? Or are you just saying crabs that are typically found on the beach?
Crabs that are typically found on the beach.
Okay, so like hermit crabs as well?
Yep, well, no, hermit crabs are separate. They're not related closely to hermit crabs either.
So like sand crabs then?
Yeah. And freshwater crabs.
Neat.
Yeah, just, crabs have apparently evolved independently like 3 separate times.
Oh, is it because...
Really likes making crabs.
Did they just go back to crabs? Is that what it is?
No, they didn't revert to crabs. There were 3 separate classes of organism that all eventually just turned into crabs.
Which means if we ever find aliens, they're likely to just be crabs.
Statistically, yes, they are more likely to be crabs than anything else.
So, Windows 11, am I right?
What? Did you say Windows 11 with absolutely no context?
Yep.
Yep, Windows 11.
What does that have to do with crabs?
Nothing. Well, eventually there will be Windows Crab.
Yeah, eventually Windows will turn, like, evolve into crabs.
That's also a joke to be made there about convergent evolution because it looks a whole lot like certain Apple operating systems too.
Yeah, with the like floating central bar. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I never liked the center bar. Especially with the start button floats.
Start
See,
button.
that sounds dumb.
Yeah. So have any of y'all used a Apple machine before?
Oh, yeah.
I've used an iPhone.
Not
No.
frequently, but yes.
Where so like generally the way it works is like you've got your desktop, and then generally you have like for Windows you have your taskbar at the bottom, and you can like it's got all the applications on it. The way it looks like this is very similar to the way Mac works, which is that you don't have like your apps on your desktop. You just have them on your bar all the time. And you click it and it opens, but it floats in the middle, so it's not like, you know, from the left to the right, it's just all just floating in the bar. And I hate it.
Oh, don't worry. It means they're saying it's going to be a free upgrade this Christmas, so it's going to be mandatory sometime next year.
Yeah, I mean, I won't upgrade until probably late 2022 or later, and I'll go in and I'll change the settings to make it so that I don't have to. Ugh, I hate it.
You'd think they would have learned from Windows 8 that people just really don't like it when you mess with how the start bar works.
No! I mean, people hate using my computer, and I've done a very tame messing with the start bar.
I just moved mine to the side.
Same!
Both of you are monsters.
Why?
Both. I don't
It's
care
on my
if it's your
second
personal
monitor on
device
the
that no one
sides.
needs to use.
It's on the
You're
second.
right.
What?
I just let mine minimize when I'm not using it.
I mean,
have mine
it's
like
also
too,
that.
But I have it on my
That's
second monitor, so I don't accidentally like make it pop up while I'm trying to play games.
Yeah, same. And also, like, if it's on the bottom and it's locked in, then like you've got less screen. If it's on the side, you
Yeah,
have the same amount of.
nice, but it belongs on the bottom.
I mean, it's just another way to keep people from messing with my computer.
Nobody's going to mess with your computer. You already have 3 monitors, one of them turned vertical.
It sounds like
So
the
does
same.
that mean that on that monitor, the bar is actually on the bottom?
No,
It should.
there's only one bar.
You don't. The bar isn't on both your monitors?
Nope.
What black magic is this?
This sounds like the same logic that says that the best anti-theft device in the United States is a gear shift,
Yeah.
My car?
a manual transmission.
No one would want to steal my car to begin with.
Yeah. Oh.
And if we were monsters, we would put the star bar on the top.
I had
My
thought
brother
of
does
that.
that.
Yeah. What did I just say, Tim?
That's not surprising. Yeah. Hmm. What is it? Windows Alt and then arrow key, and you could just flip your monitor.
I was like, oh, that sounds cool, and then I was like, I should not test that right now.
You should not. Yeah. I think if you do Control or Alt and then hold F4, then it immediately makes your computer run faster.
Oh, that's so cool. I don't know why people don't do that more. Hold on. Yeah, I really wish that if I flipped my monitor, then it would just like send you the like footage flipped also.
I mean, I can flip it like that. And
I
now
can't
you're
see it
fighting
right
a
now, so.
Nilbom Arif.
Okay, so Dom, since John has reversed the image, you have to play with reverse controls now, so the game still plays right on screen.
Okay, this is really hard. Okay, that's movement. Okay, I don't know how I'm gonna use attacks though.
Ugh. I'll switch it back. Just in time for you to fight an electric wizrobe.
Correct. This is a very weird mission because the point of the mission is that there's a bunch of like enemies to fight, except you're not supposed to fight one of them. So it's like, oh, there's the target. Keep that one alive. Kill all the other ones. Hope you're not having too much AoE.
Do you know what the target is then?
Yes.
Okay. You are not doing so hot.
In this case, it's the media one.
The fire one?
Oh my god,
okay.
okay. They just chained me, which is not fair.
What game was I playing recently that was just completely unfair?
Hearthstone?
Yeah, I was playing Hearthstone.
Yeah, I want you to know, I opened my Discord, and I like didn't realize you were doing that at the time, and I just like opened it and saw John playing Hearthstone, and I was literally just like, that's wrong. That's...
Don't worry, it won't happen again. It won't happen again. Ugh.
I immediately just tried to report the bug to Discord.
There... Went through the tutorial, the like 6-round tutorial.
Yeah.
The first, or the last guy on there is just bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not as bad as the like Lich King adventure that they did. You like fight the Lich King by the end, and he acts differently depending on what class you are. But the first turn acts differently, and that like it just does something to fuck you up. So like, if you're playing a mage, you get to him, and the first turn is him dropping your health to 1.
Oh
no
gosh.
What, and you just have to do the rest of the fight like that. And it's just like, alright, fuck you.
That's some stupid shit.
Yeah, the person I watched playing and got to that point, he like immediately stopped talking. He's just like, I think Wizard just hires a bunch of assholes.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened here.
Yeah. It took me a couple of tries to beat the... What was his name? I don't remember. The last guy in the tutorial.
Yeah. And it was close when you did.
Yeah. It's dumb. And then I played Shadows of Mordor, which also was kind of dumb. Because it's like, all right, cool. Now you can fight these guys. So you go out and you see like the first enemy, and you're like, cool, and you attack him, and then he goes, hey, you guys, come on over. And then you get fucked up.
Yeah, it's really bad about that.
And then you're like, all right, cool. I've found this captain, and there's this mini quest where I can, as long as I defeat his 5 minions first before killing him, then I get bonus points. So I pull out my bow and I kill the 5 minions first, and it goes, ding, you've succeeded. Now you can kill him. And then I jump down to attack him after having cleared out the entire area of all enemies. Immediately start the fight. There are 30 enemies on me. Like, he's like, you'll never beat me and my allies, and he like blows a horn, and then from nowhere, all these enemies come, and I've gotten him down to half health, but it doesn't matter, cause like I just burst through half his health right at the beginning, and then I just have to run away because there's like 30 enemies, and it doesn't matter if you kill them because more show up. And like,
yeah,
as soon as you get into a pocket of enemies, it's just you're fucked. Like, the only thing you could do is run away.
What?
And even then,
I feel the same.
you're probably not gonna get away.
When I've called that game Assassin's Creed Middle-earth, that is, in fact, one of the main points of comparison.
Yeah. Well, and...
Doesn't matter how many guards you kill in Assassin's Creed, there will always be more.
Yeah, but in Assassin's Creed, you take... you do a jump to the left and then 2 steps to the right, and then you're hidden. Like... Assassin's Creed, you can hide anywhere with anything. It's like, oh no, I'm being found. Let me run up to the roof of this building and turn around, and now I'm hidden, and I can do whatever I want.
In the newer ones, yes. I'm talking about like the original.
The only
like,
Assassin's Creed I have played is the first Assassin's Creed, and you could escape instantly from everything. I have never died in that game.
Did you finish it?
I got like a third of the way through before I got bored as shit, because it's a shit game.
Okay, so here's the thing. I think there's like 12 missions in the entire game, main story missions. The first 10 of them teach you how to be an unseen ninja, and then the last 2 are just complete hack and slash.
Okay. Welcome back.
And it is awful, because it is not built for that. Think about what all of, Shadow of War feels like. That's what the last 2 missions of Assassin's Creed feels like.
But still, that's only like the last 2 missions of Assassin's Creed. All the rest of it is easy. The game's easy. The game's trash. Yeah. It's a trash game. I don't care if you like Assassin's Creed. It's a trash game. Everything about it sucks.
The parkouring felt
Shit.
good.
Womp womp. There we go. Yeah, it felt okay. And honestly, Shadows of War or Shadows of Mordor felt okay movement-wise as well. But if you try to do anything, then you just get beat to death. The future of Hyrule. Was this the last battle?
Yes.
Okay.
Because I think I need to actually finish the game if I want to access more of the DLC properly.
Okay.
Which, good design. Now I get to go faster. Character who's trying to bring back Ganon with absolutely no like motives or really anything. He just is.
Ah.
He shows up for like maybe 5 minutes of cutscene. Actually, 5 might be generous.
The big bad that was invented for this game.
Yep.
Yeah.
The like medium bad, because I guess the big bad is Ganon.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no. This is a Fire Emblem thing where it's like Nurgle's the big bad. I know that after you beat Nurgle, you have to fight the Fire Dragon. Spoilers for a game that came out like a couple decades ago.
I guess the difference is that for that game, you didn't know that was gonna happen. For this game, you know it's gonna be Ganon every time. So
yeah.
Like, yeah, I would still say Ganon's the big bad, but like at the same time, I wouldn't say it counts. It's like, especially in this game where it's not Ganondorf or a Ganon that has a personality, it's just big roaring shadow boy.
Exquisite.
Question about Breath of the Wild 2. Who do you think we're gonna face? Do you think we're gonna face a Ganon character, or do you think we'll face
so I've
like
seen a lot
Vati?
of really good I've seen an incredible amount of like really awesome like ideas from fans and stuff of like Ganon actually like not being an evil incarnation this time, like him, because like they find him like underneath the castle for some reason, and like it's not like that was in like the first trailer they ever revealed, and there's a lot of really cool like ideas and stuff with it, which means that you won't be able to play as Zelda, and also you're gonna fight Ganon, and that's it. And he's still not gonna have personality because it's Nintendo, and as much as they say they like to break the molds of their own stuff, they refuse to break it for the like important things.
All right, so we're not gonna. So what you're saying is that Breath of the Wild was the game about Zelda, where you play as Link, and it doesn't matter because the entire story is about Zelda. And then we're gonna be playing Breath of the Wild 2, where the entire story is gonna be about Ganon, and everything will be about Ganon, and Link won't matter at all, but we'll play as Link instead of Ganon.
Yeah, basically.
Eh.
So here's the thing: is like, what I never liked that they did is that like he is the Triforce of Power, but like it's not inherently evil. Like the desire for more power or to use your power is, but like, so it's like I would love a story of a Ganon trying not to fall into the temptation of that. That would be really good, especially since most of the time he wants his power for a reason. Oh really? Because not in this game. He just roars.
Well, yeah. In this game, there's no such thing as Ganon. There's just a monster.
Yeah, I was really upset with this game's Ganon because I was just like, if he was like interesting.
Actually, I guess there's only one Ganondorf.
Really?
Yeah, because, like, think about what games include Ganondorf. There's Ocarina of Time. And the Ocarina of Time Ganondorf is the same Ganondorf as the Twilight Princess Ganondorf. There's... Yeah, the Wind Waker, and I'm trying to remember...
Are those in the same line?
No, they're in the adult Link fucks up line.
That one might be a different Ganondorf.
I don't know. All right, this is a mistake. All right, Zelda.
I feel like Ganondorf is in like most of the games, right? Like I always thought Ganondorf was like more common than Ganon.
Ganon is in most of the games, cause like Ganon's in the first game.
Yeah, but like I feel like once they decided to give him a humanoid form, that started being like the thing.
I am far from an expert. From what I remember, I think Ganondorf is the one everyone remembers because he's in Smash, but I think he's only in Ocarina.
He's definitely in more games than just Ocarina because...
Alright, so I looked up the wiki for Ganondorf, and it says, A Link to the Past, he's mentioned in the backstory as the King of Thieves. So he's...
Cool for him to have a cool name like that that doesn't imply power. Like that.
So... Because I know A Link to the Past is one of the last games that exists. Obviously Breath of the Wild is the last one. Ganondorf was mentioned as the King of Thieves who managed to break into the Sacred Realm and obtain the Triforce. The power of the Triforce changed him into a beast, and from that point on he became known as Ganon. Then Ganondorf is in Ocarina of Time. He was sealed, depending on the version, and in that version, he, a long time prior to the events of the game of Wind Waker, manages to break the seal that was placed on him, and then, well, yeah, he gets flooded, and then escapes, and then he gets sealed in the sword. Okay, so there is a second Ganondorf from Four Swords Adventures.
Yeah.
Okay, here's my question.
It's canonically,
Are there-
he is a second Ganondorf. Chronologically.
Okay, I have a question then. Are there multiple Ganons? Or is it the same Ganon that comes back? Because, like, it's not like... So, okay, Ganondorf is a Gerudo, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ganon's not a Gerudo, right?
Correct.
So, how does he get born? If there aren't any more giant boar pig monster in Hyrule that could give birth to him.
One of the hot, tall chicks who are stronger than men.
Gerudo?
Yeah.
They gave birth to Ganon? That sucks.
Or Ganondorf.
He seems like he would be like 30 pounds at birth.
She was asking who a Gerudo was. So.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying that. Okay. Whew.
Yeah. She was asking, I was answering. Once every 1,000 years or whatever, they give birth to a boy. Yeah.
I hate that 1,000 is always the default number for that, because I don't think anyone ever remembers how long 1,000
I'm
years
just
is
pulling that
when
out
they
my
say it
ass,
happens
but...
No, I think you are correct.
Yeah. Me too, but it's dumb.
Cool that Hyrule has not gained any technological advancements in the, like, 10 generations of Ganon that has existed.
Because I know, like, Ganondorf doesn't show up in Skyward Sword because it's Demise. And Demise is what later reincarnates as Ganondorf.
Oh, so that's like Demise's, or Ganondorf's original identity, I guess?
Yeah, Demise, or Ganondorf is the personification of Demise's hatred.
You know what I feel like the Zelda series needs?
A reset?
Where they don't do any of this. Like, the thing is, those were great for, like, older games, where, like, you know, SNES and Game Boy games, where, like, the story was a nice extra thing that existed in the, like, cool game you were playing. But at this point where they, like, just doubled down on the concept of, like, every generation of Link / Zelda / Ganon is exactly the same. It's just like, I'd like a little more now. That's okay.
Yeah.
I'd like Ganon to have a personality instead of just be angry guy.
Yeah.
I want Zelda to be playable, but for some reason they're like, no, if Zelda was playable, she wouldn't be, like, Link is courage. That means you play as him. Zelda's that. It's like, well, then make a fucking puzzle game for me, alright?
You do actually get to play as Zelda in one game.
Yes, but I want a Zelda-oriented, like, especially like Breath of the Wild 2 would be so good as a Zelda / Link-oriented game where you can, like, either shift between them or they have different times that they both can, like, be playable.
Yeah. I like the fact that the one time you can play Zelda is pretty much the worst game in the franchise, and Zelda's
Is
dead.
that Spirit Tracks?
It's Spirit Tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's dead, and it's the worst game. But that's the one you can play her as. Yeah, go Zelda.
She's like
I'll be
a
back.
ghost inside of an armor. It's wild.
Okay.
I've also seen so many fans create like renditions of, or like versions of the characters, but like as if they shifted who was the Triforce of what, which was like incredibly cool looking in concept, and also definitely never gonna be a thing Nintendo thinks about, because they're just like, you have to play as Link. He's really cool in the way that he doesn't have a personality because he can't talk. They even changed his clothes in this game, or in Breath of the Wild, because they were like, we ran out of ways to make his outfit cool.
So is Zelda.
Yeah, and most of the time they make it bad. Now, granted, there are some Links that have good personalities, mainly Wind Waker Link, because even though he doesn't talk, he do a very good job with his facial expressions.
Just exemplifying that Link.
Again?
I'm trying to make sense of the timeline.
So I have like Twitch chat up on my other monitor, so I can't see the cameras, and so I just like checked over to like that for a second on Discord, and I was just like, oh, John's gone.
Yeah, he said he'd be right back.
I like missed that, so I was just like, why is John so quiet? Did I say something wrong?
Quiet John is very uncharacteristic.
In my defense, usually when John leaves, he still talks.
Yeah, John, why aren't you talking? I don't see his headset. So they did art where the different characters came back as different, like, which
Yeah, so it'd be like
they had.
So it'd be like Link was wisdom, Zelda was power, and Ganondorf is courage.
Okay.
And like the like idea of that is super interesting to me because you know
Did they
you only
did they
see
change
them.
colors too? Was Ganon
I think so. Like I think they like just changed their base colors a bit, which looked really nice.
Zelda red and black?
I think so. I don't remember exactly which one, like which direction they went, but I feel like I've seen multiple, so I've probably seen both sides of it. But they always look really good. They're just very stuck in the like, well, the prophecy says it's gonna be the Triforce of Courage. I don't know. I'm just also mad because like Zelda gets kidnapped a lot for the person who's supposed to be wise. Have you not figured out like, oh, wisdom is having a bodyguard that can stop this kind of thing? Also, I feel like when they say the Triforce of Wisdom, what they mean is she has magic, and that's it. It doesn't actually mean that she's particularly wise. Because, like, in this game, she definitely isn't because she's, like...
She definitely
very
isn't
young.
in this game.
Definitely.
Yeah, like, she was not given a very good chance to be.
Yeah.
But, I'm so mad about that. Like, that they're just like, Zelda's just kind of... Triforce of Wisdom means that sometimes she has magic. That's all it means.
Yeah.
Unless it's the TV show, in which case it means you have like a floaty crystal that talks to you, I guess.
So where exactly is Breath of the Wild on the timeline?
The end.
Great question, Tim. I'll give you the answer. You know how it splits into 3?
Yep.
Take a guess which one it is. I'll give you 3 tries.
Are they all gonna be wrong?
It depends. Depends on what you say. There is an answer.
Yeah. There is an answer.
Alright, so there's child timeline, adult timeline, and you lose timeline.
Okay. Child timeline?
Nope.
Yes!
But also, okay, yes. Yes and no.
Okay, try again.
Jesse.
I remember.
Go ahead, Tim. Guess.
Going, Tim.
Okay, well, it's not the adult timeline because that's just
Wrong.
a dead end.
Wrong.
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 It
It is. Keep
yes,
keep
the adult
guessing.
timeline.
Keep going.
Keep going.
There's only one more
Let's
option. You
see
should
here.
guess.
And then I guess there's the failure timeline.
Correct. Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
also
that one.
correct.
Yeah.
The official answer is it is somehow all 3 timelines.
Uh-huh.
Basically, someone asked Nintendo and they were like, we don't know. Like, it's,
Yep.
as an answer, absolutely makes no sense. They have said nothing about how those 3 timelines can be the same timeline.
No, and it's horrible. I hate it.
Yeah.
Didn't you say Link to the Past was one of the final games in the timeline?
Yes, it's one of...
Yeah, and then Breath of the Wild came out.
It has a bunch of games after it.
Yeah, but they don't matter.
Yeah.
Link to the... Yes, you're right.
Adventures?
You're right. Link to the Past is followed by the Oracle games, which nobody gives a shit about because they were trash, and Link's Awakening, and I guess the remake of A Link to the Past, the one that's A Link to the Past.
Yeah, which is
isn't.
for some reason its own separate entry on the timeline. And then that's followed by Zelda 1 and Zelda 2.
Like, the quality of these games is like if we're like, you also mentioned like, oh, and then after that was Metroid Federation Forces, and then Metroid,
and then Metroid
like,
Other M.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, then Metroid Other M.
They really should just like. I wish they just went the Star Wars route and just uncannoned it. That was the only thing that they could have done to save the like Metroid series immediately.
Yeah.
They should have recalled it. We're sorry you bought
And
this.
then this game was followed by the first 2 games, which definitely were not so interesting that they spawned an entire franchise.
Yeah.
How?
Yeah.
The great Calamity Ganon selected me. This
Basically, I think Esther's just a goth guy
cannot
who
be my
one time
destiny.
accidentally found a picture of Ganon and then just assumed it meant that he was chosen. And then he just devoted his life to that.
Power these.
Oh yeah!
Does he get eated?
Somehow, Ganon returned.
Yeah, Ganon kinda takes him over. Which is certainly an interesting way. I appreciate that they made Ganon in this game completely different than he was in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Did the doggy just growl? Oh, okay. Brr. Arg. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Breath of the Wild.
I like the mechanics of Breath of the Wild.
They're okay.
Honestly, that's the one thing I don't like about Breath of the Wild.
Well, okay, I like the like moving around and enjoying the world. I wish the weapons didn't break, but I understand why they do. Otherwise, you'd stop exploring in like 5 seconds. But like, I just enjoy the like gameplay and like it's a nice game to like chill out on, but like I wouldn't play it a ton, I guess.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't
If I had Breath of the
like
Wild,
I would
do
never
nothing
100%
except
it.
explore. I would do none of the story, none of the gameplay, none of the mechanics. I would just run.
Yeah, just run around. You'd
Which
max
again
out
should-
stamina in that.
Oh yeah.
She wouldn't do anything aside from just exploring and running around. Like,
Oh yeah.
fuck
and, like,
the rest of the
that's
game.
Completely viable, and that's why I like it is because like that's very new for a Legend of Zelda game.
Yeah.
And it's the kind of thing I want them to do more with.
Ugh.
I have no boyfriend.
Yeah, he's shooting a lot of lasers. Do you have to fight
Not
him
anymore,
now?
he ain't.
Oh.
I did.
Oh, okay.
It's gone forever.
It's weird because, like, so I could look to my right, which is where I keep vMix, and I can have the direct feed from you. I could look to my
Yeah.
left, and that's the actual Gentleman's Gank account open, but it's really small. Or I could look straight ahead towards the camera at my account on Twitch. and forever, it is just gonna be the slowest. Like, I don't know what it is, but it's like way behind always. And I could refresh it and it'll catch up, and then it'll just get behind again. But the others will stay fine. Did she build him? Is that what we're learning now?
Yeah. Yeah. As a baby.
Yes, let's let our babies build laser robots.
I'm guessing she, like, fixed him. Look, we saw Zelda's mom for 1/10 of a second, but only from, like, the waist down.
Mother?
Oh yeah, and it dutes out Zelda's lullaby, which is actually pretty cute.
You're not going to leave me too, right, Terako? Father, no! Please don't.
And then her dad took it away
Return of the
because he's the worst dad of any series.
As the princess of Hyrule.
Yeah.
Bowser is a significantly better dad than Zelda's dad.
It's true. Bowser is a pretty good dad.
Distraction.
Oh, Bowser's an incredible dad.
Yeah.
And much better at kart racing.
Then, well, I mean, we don't know that. I would love to play.
I think
like,
we do
Zelda
because
kart racing game.
I think we do because if this guy was any good, he would have been invited by now.
I mean, I don't think so because I'm pretty sure only Link has been invited from here. I don't think Zelda is in one.
Yeah, she's not any good either.
Damn, she's wisdom. Maybe she just knew better.
Yes, she knows better than to get in a go-kart against, a giant flaming turtle.
I thought that Bowser isn't a turtle.
He's a Koopa,
For the sake
I guess.
of Hyrule. For all those harmed and slain. For our future.
I'm assuming he is a Koopa because he is known as King Koopa, or also in Japanese, Koopa. So if he isn't that, I feel betrayed.
Where you fall.
Yes, he is a turtle. So
No, we just said he's not a turtle.
he's a Koopa, which is just a turtle. Yeah.
Turtles don't have spikes or breathe fire.
Maybe they just need to try harder.
Some turtles have spikes.
You know what? I know what would actually fix Legend of Zelda if they did it. Is that if every iteration of the game, all of the characters move slightly closer to becoming crabs.
Oh.
At least the Zora.
What exactly would that fix? That would fix their exorbitantly high sales.
What?
It would annoy the community, which would make them slightly more cancer, which ironically is how carcinization works.
And now we get to fight Ganon, but in the throne room instead of under the throne room, like in Breath of the Wild. Yay! It's a callback. It's cool. He's still, and just like in that game, it's actually a really interesting callback to Breath of the Wild, where he also doesn't have a personality in this one.
I like the fact that even in like Ocarina of Time, the boss fight, like he has a character in the boss fight. Even if it's just him maniacally laughing, you could tell anything about his character.
Yeah.
But-
Like, sure, okay, he has personality in this, in that he is, like, bloodthirsty and, like, cruel, and, like, all of the the like most generically evil qualities a person can have.
Yeah.
But like he doesn't have a motive, really. It's just kind of like, ah, I'm bad guy.
Yeah.
Bad guy.
That, yep. Link definitely did block
Yep.
that piece of ceiling.
That is physics.
I love that Link literally is like, no! And it's like, oh, it was a styrofoam piece of ceiling.
You know, as you do.
What did you expect?
Stealing.
Guys, look, Zelda's hopes and dreams are powering her little friend. What an original and cool ending. They brought him back to life with her tears and stuff. Look at him go. Even in this game where Zelda has her magical powers, like, the victory is still removed from her.
Yeah.
Literally, her friend just goes and blows itself up on Ganon.
You see, the secret here is he was only defeated because the ceiling got dropped on him. They were ceiling tiles.
But they didn't fall on him, Tim.
It fell around him. It's close enough.
Asbestos. Asbestos is what kills Ganon.
What's really fun to me is that this was supposed to be like a really touching moment and stuff, and you're like, oh no, Terraco died. I mean, we literally thought he died 35 seconds ago. So, and we didn't know he was alive until he died again.
To end this.
So,
You had that moment of hope just to have it all tank again.
but like Zelda
And
didn't
she
have
saw
that
him
moment
die,
of
so
hope.
she
All
says,
saw-
it's time to end this again.
Yeah. Like Zelda didn't have a moment where she saw him before he blew up, except for the moment where he jumped past her to blow up. So she had, you know, enough time to process that he was there as he was exploding, which I don't think is enough time to have hope.
So this is always a really weird concept fight for me, because, like, you lose.
I mean,
Like, we know you lose.
oh, not in this game.
I mean, sure, you'll beat him, but, like, the end result will be he beats you.
No,
This isn't
no.
starting a new timeline.
Yeah, this is a different timeline.
Oh,
In Breath of the Wild, he already won, but in this game, like, Terraco goes to the past and he has pictures from the future where Ganon won, so it changes
Oh.
the timeline.
Oh, fuck
Yeah.
this!
Yeah, so this is actually in every timeline, including the secret fourth timeline that it made.
Oh, fuck
It is-
this.
The absolute
So-
worst thing.
So what timeline does Breath of the Wild 2 take place in?
I'm assuming. Okay, I'm assuming this game is not canon by any stretch of the imagination. I don't believe this fits in a timeline.
Is Age of Calamity canon? Non-canon.
I mean-
okay.
I mean, characters from Breath of the Wild go back in time into this world, so like, pretty sure it's not canon. Warriors games generally aren't, they're just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ganon smash! Ganon angry! Ganon caveman! That's all
Oh
it is.
no, the spirit of malice has become more malicious.
Oh no, he dropped us into a pit while he was above it, and then for some reason he jumped down in the pit with us. When he could have just stayed there and then won by default because we can't get out.
And now Zelda has said it's time to settle this once and for all, for the third time.
For the third time.
And it's not the
And
spirit
wow,
of
we're fighting in the same
malice.
place we fought him in Breath of the Wild. Wow.
It's the
Callback.
spirit of demise. Thank you.
Urbus, are you just gonna stand there? Like, we're fighting Ganon, and you're just kind of relaxing.
Oh, interesting. Zeldapedia is gone. Or, I mean, it still exists, but they're getting rid of it because they've merged with the Gamepedia version of it.
Oh, and now the button is seal instead of like special attack. It's cool that I can steal him without the master. Really appreciate that they let me do that.
You can only
the
beat
amount
this
that
if you're bringing in one particular weapon.
No, thankfully, but that would suck.
Yeah.
Also, love that, like, again, in a game where she finally has magic and is able to, like fight back on Ganon, Link still is the person who has to seal again. Yeah, and the game that is about the legend of her. Oh, now she gets to help this time. By just
Also,
making a bowling ball of light.
You were using the Master Sword there.
Yeah, in the cutscene it suddenly switched to that. Also, like, why do they always seal Ganon? Like, why can't they... Like, that's what always bothers me, it's just like... You don't want to, like, research a way to actually kill him?
Because he has the Triforce, I don't think he can.
I mean, Link and Zelda can die.
Yeah, but they come back.
I mean, they come back as a new incarnation, but, like, they could still kill this Ganon instead of, like, sealing him. And then every time someone names their kid Ganon, they can just go kill the baby.
I think the difference is that Zelda wields her piece of the Triforce, whereas Ganon merged with his.
Which, like, what does that mean?
No, I mean, he has his... No,
in fact, a lot of the games you have to go find it.
Here's what should happen.
Pieces.
They should just make everyone happy by merging Link with his Triforce and Zelda with hers, and then just letting them go off and battle for all time.
Infinitely,
just somewhere else.
They should just
seal them
They should
together.
just merge Link. They need to merge Link and Zelda to become the true hero of Hyrule, Linda.
I think the difference is the Triforce of Wisdom continues
Linda.
to benefit Hyrule, and Zelda isn't around. Whereas when Ganon is sealed, it takes the Triforce of Power out of circulation until he comes back.
But here's okay. How about this? You take Link and Ganon, you both merge them with their Triforce, and then you put them really far away, right? And then Zelda's still here, and she can do her whole thing with the kingdom. Everyone wins.
No, that wouldn't work. Because then you wouldn't have a franchise anymore.
What Triforce are you hunting for in the first game? Like, what Triforce do you get from Ganon?
Well then, it seems the time.
Because you kill Ganon and you get
I could not be prouder.
a Triforce piece.
To be of service.
So presumably that would be the Triforce of Power. But then in Zelda 2, you have to go hunting for all the pieces of the Triforce of Courage. So is just the Triforce of Wisdom just lost? That seems like a very unwise thing to do.
I mean, is Zelda in? Wait, does Zelda even show up in like any of the opening games besides like?
She's in
Like
Zelda
that
2.
I
Princesses.
know.
That's
That's
the
good, at least.
plot of Zelda 2 is that like she's asleep and you have to get all the pieces of the Triforce to wake her. But you still end up with 2 pieces.
I guess maybe you have to get the Triforce of Wisdom and Courage so that you're powerful and also you can wake her up.
How all of you fought by my side. The trials we overcame together.
That makes a type of sense.
Listen, these games don't make sense anymore.
Friendship.
Like, I don't even know if the Triforce is a physical object or if it's a power which somehow can be merged with someone. Did Ganon just tattoo it onto him and that's why it counts?
I want a tattoo that glows whenever I want it to. Can I get a bioluminescent tattoo?
No, but they have glow-in-the-dark ones.
Yeah, I don't care about that. I want a bioluminescent one. I want to be able to think and make it glow.
What if it just glows when you're angry? What if it's like a...
No, in all likelihood, it'll just be like it glows when... Let's see. The ones in the ocean glow when you're hungry. Some of them glow when you're horny. So, like...
I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be the horny one.
Oh, shit. No,
Like,
fuck.
I know how humans make things.
Fuck. Fuck. There we go.
Yes, that is how humans make humans.
I only fucked it.
Wow, John, your top cheek's glowing real hard right now. It was an accidental choice of words, but I think it was correct.
Alright, so the story of Zelda 2. A few years after the defeat of Ganon and the rescue of Princess Zelda, Link, now age 16. How old was he when he killed Ganon? Is disturbed
well, presumably 14.
Yeah. No, it says a few years. So...
Oh, okay.
So like 13?
Is disturbed by the appearance of a mark on the back of his hand. Upon seeing this mark, Impa, the nurse of Princess Zelda, tells him the story of how ages ago the King of Hyrule had hidden a third part of the Triforce of Courage, in the Great Palace to safeguard it from evil.
You get the Master Koga seal of approval. Wow, good job.
So it's definitely the Triforce of Courage in that. Alright, so in the original Legend of Zelda, you must successfully navigate each dungeon to obtain one of the 8 pieces of the Triforce of Wisdom.
You did well.
And...
Pieces of the Triforce of Wisdom?
yeah, trials don't easily or evenly divide into 8, pretty sure.
I can feel the power.
Not nicely.
Interesting. Apparently, you can reach Ganon without taking a sword. In the first game.
Nice.
You can't kill him, but...
My favorite kind of speedrun tricks is the ones where you can do this really cool thing and it's significantly worse for you.
yeah.
You get used to this.
Hey,
Hi, Cat. I guess once you win, or once you beat Ganon, you get the Triforce of Power. So you'd have the Triforce of Wisdom and Power at that point. And you just have
But
to
what
go
does
with the Courage
having
one.
that mean?
good going.
You have that power. Like, you have...
Link is now suddenly very powerful.
Maybe that's what sealing Ganon is. It cuts him off from the Triforce of Power so they can use it to fix whatever, and then eventually Ganon regenerates.
The
But that
Triforce
means
of
you should be able to kill
Blah
him.
embodies the essence of the goddess of Blah. So, for example, Wisdom imparts divine wisdom upon its holder and grants the holder untold mystical abilities.
You can have magic, but only if your dad's chill.
It seems like
Uh,
Then how does Zelda ever do anything?
I mean, her dad died, and then she got
I
magic.
knew I could do it.
Yes, I guess once you've died, you are very chill.
Zelda's dad kind of always sucks. Like,
Would Breath of the Wild be like a super passive-aggressive Father's Day gift?
I am stronger than ever before.
Maybe.
But like, really, her dad always sucks, because in Ocarina of Time, she's got the Triforce of Wisdom, and she's named Zelda, so, like, they know that she's the wise one. When she goes to her dad and she's like, hey, you should be wary of Ganondorf, he's gonna come in here and kill you and everyone else and take over.
He's like, I don't listen to women.
Yeah, pretty much. And they just move on, and guess what? Ganondorf shows up and then kills everyone and takes over. What a surprise.
Yeah.
It's you. Yes. Fantastic.
Yay, I got a new weapon for Link. I bet it's very cool and fun to play with.
Good luck.
Don't be a stranger.
Have you messed around with it yet on your alternate account?
Oh yeah, it's certainly a choice.
Oh boy.
Like I'm about to do the like training for it so you can like see what I mean. It's just like such a weird fucking concept.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea. Like they were just like, what if it was a flail? Except by flail we don't mean what anybody thinks a flail is, and instead we invent the worst weapon we can.
I mean, it looks like nunchucks from the.
It sure
the symbol.
does. Visually, it sure does look like nunchucks. But
Is
we'll
that
have
'cause it's
that were
nunchucks?
also stretchy hands.
Oh, so they invented what's that game that came out that nobody gave a shit about, but somehow they decided
Arms?
to put it into
Smash Brothers. Yeah, arms.
Smash
It's
Brothers.
sort of like that. You become an arms character, but not good. It,
So you
it
become
also
an arms
gives you
character?
the ability.
Yeah. When was the last time you heard of someone talking about arms?
When they
When
announced
they were
the
talking
character
about
for
how
Smash
overpowered it
Bros.
is in Smash.
Yeah, so this is the weapon.
That looks like
and,
shit.
like,
That looks so bad. It looks so bad.
it's especially bad because it's like
It's
any
so
Guardian
bad.
thing. I don't like the aesthetic.
Oh
Okay,
gosh,
but
it
here's
looks
the
so
cool thing.
awful.
You can copy weapons. Oh, look, I have it's holding a sword now. So now I can just do this. So what's interesting is it changes my combos. So previously I can do up to 6 attacks, and if I do a strong attack after the first 5, it does a different strong attack as like a combo. For this, I can do weak attack. I can do weak, and then and then that's it. That's the end of the combo.
Oh, okay. So there's no such thing as combos then, is what you're saying.
All the combos are weak.
Ugh.
What's that meter building up in the top left?
That's a good question. Is his sound gone? It looks like his sound is gone.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, we're not getting any game sound
Yeah.
either.
Thanks
Yep.
for coming, everyone.
Is it time for that? It is time for that anyways. Yeah. Here, I'll
Just
let
said,
him know.
"Nope, you're done. Stream over."
Oh, I'm back. Back!
Oh, yay! What happened?
Hey!
What the heck happened?
My audio just it told me that it wasn't working anymore. That's all it gave me. It was just
Nice.
your audio isn't. I was like, oh, you know where it shows like your little like the sound gauge on like Windows to show like what your volume is at? It just had an X.
All right. Well, it doesn't look like we have game sound right now. So.
Why? It's from the Elgato.
I think your computer needs a break.
what the fuck happened?
So anyways, it is basically time for us to end. So we could end now if you wanted.
We can. I just wanted to see if I can plug it and replay it. Just
You are a robot.
I really need work.
I can't understand a word that you're saying.
No. Oh, Robot Dom.
Fuck.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. That's a pretty.
It's like that cran melt thing that like all the high school girls were doing when Pinterest first came out.
Okay. All right, so thanks everyone for coming. We're gonna pop over to this screen so that you can stare at Dominic's frozen face. Yeah. Dominic said, this is what happens when I use the flail. So yeah, thanks everyone for coming. We'll see y'all next time. Bye.